guys? We're back with another episode. What's up, KFS fam? It's your girl, B.Simone.
And it's Megan Ashley.
And we're back.
What's the remix? Like, maybe because I just need something new.
No.
And who told you could take my blanket?
And sit in your spot. Y'all know we bulk shoot, so we done shot a few episodes today. I'm trying to switch it up. Keep y'all on the edge of y'all seats.
They're not on the edge.
They like, but you done had this same ponytail for 4 weeks. We get it. Take that damn wig off. No.
Take the wig off.
It's really the same day.
So, obviously, we're still in L.A.
You are still in L.A. Thanks, Ash. Thank you.
A little bit of water.
A little bit of water. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I got kombucha.
Water,
do you want something to drink?
I'm good.
Okay. We have a guest today.
A very, very, very special guest.
Very
I'm excited.
Yeah.
You better not. Braylon.
Sorry. She knows me so well. I didn't do it. Wow.
Anytime you see a black person lift their
cheek up.
When it's like that lean up and over.
I have gas.
They're getting ready to blow up.
She said, Braylon, I had to lift the right cheek up. Because let me tell you
on my blanket though.
But what's the fun fact about my farts? Say it in the mic.
They don't stink.
Woo! You know me. My gas don't stink. So if I ever farted around you, you wouldn't even know it unless I lift that leg up. But it's been a long day.
It's been a long day.
And I'm gassy. But we're here. I'm excited. We still got the vibes going, the good energy. KFS fam, thank you for being here. Welcome back to another episode. If you are a new viewer and you have never heard or watched this episode, our podcast is all about relationships, healing, growing, evolving. And we are best friends of 20 years. My girl.
It's like,
all right.
you know how they say, like, you are the company you keep.
It's like, am I weird
like,
too?
Is it me?
Yes. Yeah.
You are a reflection of me.
Yep. You crazy too. And weird.
I was like, you got to do some assessment. Figure out what's going on with
you, with your spirit. You got me acting crazy.
It's like, what about me attracted all that foolishness over there?
What is it about me that
got you to be my best friend?
Aw.
You're so annoying. Anyway, KFS fam, we're back, and we have a special guest.
Special, man.
With us today. So I'm going to let you introduce our guest.
Okay. The infamous. All right, you know that. Whoo! Hollywood writer, baby. We have Kendra here, and y'all might not know her, but I'm going to tell you, you need to know her. Okay? Thank you for being here, Kendra.
Oh,
thank you. So
okay, so how do you know Kendra?
I know.
Tell them,
like, who is she? How do I know her? Okay.
And then, yeah.
Let's talk about it. So, you guys, I know Kendra because she is a writer. How did we initially meet?
Oh, wow. We didn't even meet. We were actually texting each other.
But how did you get my number?
From Brittany.
Who is Brittany?
Brittany Hall.
And why is she giving out my number?
Well, no, she didn't give it out.
Oh, Brittany Hall. Okay.
I was doing the short,
Got you.
And we needed the lead. And I was like, oh, my God, B.Simone would be great.
Do you have her contact? Yeah. She was looking for a lead. So she is a writer. She writes stories. She's a creator. Mm-hmm. She produces, directs. Mm-hmm. And we met through the industry with writing. She was looking for a character. This was years ago. Mm-hmm. 2 years ago. She texted me.
2017, I think.
She texted me.
You were going to China. That's the only reason why you didn't do it.
Wow. So it had to be 2018, 2017 or something. Going to China. I couldn't do it. She was like, I'll just keep your number for future reference, right? Fast forward to, what? January, February? Or
the end of last year.
Yeah, the end of last year. I get a text. Her name pops up. Kendra Jo, producer or writer, or however I saved you in my phone. I don't remember. She's like, there's this show, and I wrote this show, and I want you to audition for it. Like, and they sent me all this stuff. I had an audition, and no, did I have 2 auditions?
Yeah.
I had 2 auditions.
Yep.
The first one, it went really, really good. I don't think everybody was on there, though.
No, you actually did it in the middle of your stand-up tour, which was impressive to me, because I was like,
I remember that.
Wow.
How the hell is she doing this in the middle of her tour?
Yeah.
And I think that also impressed everybody, because they were like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah.
I was so nervous. I had to
I
learn these
couldn't
lines. Y'all, let me tell y'all, I don't know if you know this, but oh, sure. Thanks. So I'm going to get to how we know her, whatever, but I had this audition. And y'all, when you're auditioning, it's virtual. So you have your laptop up, you have your camera, whatever, but you have to learn these lines. You don't want to focus on the lines because you want to focus on the character. Mm-hmm. So I was like, if I just, behind the laptop, if I tape the lines, like I can just,
As a reference.
Mm-hmm. The moment my audition start, the paper fell.
God said. God said.
What? The paper fell. I was like, shh. And I killed it, but it was just like, trust yourself. The paper fell. That was just a funny story. You never do that. But I had the lines like taped up because it's a virtual audition. So, you can try to finesse it. They can't see that. But I did that audition. And then I had my second audition.
Yeah.
I was so
That was a chemistry read?
It was a chemistry read. And they wanted to see how I was with these other characters. And I was auditioning for this show called Finding Happy, written by her. All these beautiful Black women directors, produced by Cedric the Entertainer's production company. And I was going to have the opportunity to be the lead role in this show. And I really, really wanted this role. It was just different. I knew it was something I had never did. It was going to push me. And I'm like, this is like, I said I wanted to act. Like, this is dope. I want to do this. I really want this role. We did the chemistry read. And that was like kind of to vet the other guys or who did I do the chemistry read with?
We did it with Marquita for Jamila.
Marquita.
Because you all were sister cousins. So there really has to be a connection between
So in the show, Marquita is like my Megan.
Yes,
right.
absolutely.
Like, my best friend. And they wanted us to read together before I got the role to see our chemistry on camera. And Marquita was so nice. She let me call her like a couple hours before the audition. And we went, because she already had the role. She was like, They trying to see if you go with me. I already got the role, So she took time out of her day. And I was like, can I please take, and we went over the lines on FaceTime. She was like, girl, you got it. Like, this is organic. You got it. I knew the line. We did it a couple times. Y'all had notes for me the first time. I think there was like a change or something y'all wanted me to do. Y'all shifted it. I was like, okay. I did it again. And then, I don't know if it was weeks later, days later, whatever. I got that call. They were like, you're yes. Oh, I was boo-hooing. I like called you crying. I FaceTimed Megan as soon as I got it. My agent called me and I got it. But that is how I know Kendra. She really believed in me and pushed for me to get that audition. Like, just the audition.
Absolutely.
She's like, I want you to audition. I already believed you're yes, but at least get the audition. Now, what you do in that audition is on you, but she fought for me to have that opportunity, and she was the writer behind the show, Finding Happy, which airs on Bounce Network September 24th. You guys.
Yes. I'm so excited.
So, I wanted to bring her on the show. This week, the show airs on the Bounce Network. And before we talk about the story Finding Happy and what that story meant to you, like that was like your true testimony of literally a Black woman in the industry, dating, finding her happy. I want to know like more about you and who Kendra is like before the successful writer, because you are a successful writer in Hollywood now. But I know we talked a little bit on on set behind the scenes about like you weren't always there, and there was a point where you felt like you weren't gonna make it out of that.
I don't think I hate to say this, but I think it's always going to be a journey. I don't think I've arrived. Or ever will arrive. Because this was an assignment for me. This wasn't something that I was like, when I was a little girl, I always went, no. Like, God called me to this. And so it's almost like every day it's like trying on shoes. Like, does this fit? Like, is this, or outfit. Like, do I like,
no, take this off, try another shirt.
And it forever keeps me in a place of being surrendered to him. I don't, if God says it's time to move, and then I'm like, okay, it's time for me to go. I don't care who's there. I don't care what big name is attached. If God is saying, hey, it's time for you to move on, then that's what I'm doing. Because I came from a really small town in Virginia. I'm a country girl at heart. I'm from a place where you can count the number of traffic lights on 2 hands, probably.
Yeah.
Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
You can say your last name, like, oh yeah, I know your people.
I know you. I know
I'm
your
gonna tell your
daddy.
daddy.
Don't act
You know
up.
what I'm saying? Exactly. They would
Yeah.
call you out anywhere. It didn't matter. And so, coming into this situation, it was purely.
Now, are you talking about this situation as far as finding happy or just writing in general?
Just writing in general.
Okay.
Yeah. I was a kid who grew up in a place that didn't look like the world I used to watch on television. So I really gravitated to like, these stories and people like Blossom and Punky Brewster. I'm like, oh my God, I love them, and I used to write. I used to write in school, like 5th grade, would write stories by hand back in the day when you would get loose leaf paper and write it and hit ink all on your hands. Like that big pen was my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
And I used to write them and staple them because I was a huge fan of Judy Blume. Oh my God. I was reading Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Like it was like,
I don't want to interrupt you, but me and Megan used to write.
We used to write stories.
Wow.
And it would during change of class periods. It was us and our friend Tiffany. So one period I would have it. And I would
write to a certain point, and the next person would read it and pick up the story.
That is crazy.
So you
we used to
know,
have folders. Of paper.
Like you might think it's gonna go somewhere, but
Your
Megan
friend
would
did.
write something else, and then the next day I would get it the next period, and then Tiffany would get it.
And that was so fun.
We just made it up. But yeah, I love that you were creative in that way. Yeah.
And God was planting that seed of storytelling in you.
Yeah.
Such a young age, But my friends used to swap, so I would be the one like do exchange of periods. Yo, Kendra, let me get that story you just wrote. They was passing around.
They
at
would
lunch.
read it.
They were reading it.
Got you.
All of my friends were reading it. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I was writing about what was going on where I was from, like girls getting pregnant, teen pregnancy.
Right.
Like I was
What you
writing about
saw.
all of that.
Yeah.
Like what I saw.
Yeah.
And then, the vicissitudes of life happen. You kind of get, distracted by the boys.
Okay, before we continue with this episode, we got to give a shout out to our sponsor, Apostrophe.
Y'all, have y'all ever had acne breakout come at the worst time possible? Of course you have, because I know I have. Before I'm about to film, before I go on tour, before a show, before I have to do content. It's so annoying. We've all had that struggle with our skin, and that's why we're excited to partner with Apostrophe, the sponsor of this episode.
Apostrophe is a prescription skincare company that offers science-backed oral and topical medication that are clinically proven to help clear acne.
At Apostrophe, an expert dermatology team will create a personalized treatment plan that is perfectly tailored to your unique skin. You guys simply fill out Apostrophe's online quiz about your skin, goals, and medical history, then snap a few selfies, and a board-certified dermatologist will create your initial customized treatment plan.
Apostrophe treats all types of acne from hormonal to facial. They treat breakouts from head to toe. We have a special deal for our audience. Save $15 off your first visit with Apostrophe provider at apostrophe.com/KFS when you use our code KFS. This code is only available to our listeners.
To get started, just go to apostrophe.com/KFS and click the begin visit, then use our code KFS at sign up and you'll get your first visit for only $5.
That's apostrophe.com/KFS and use the code KFS to get your first dermatologist crafted treatment plan for $5. And we thank Apostrophe for sponsoring this podcast. Back to the episode.
And now you start making your stories in real life. I don't have time to write, but I'm out here doing this.
Right.
So yeah, and then I went on to college, still was writing. And I was also doing open mic, like poetry, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then I just kind of it was a whole bunch of stuff that happened. Most of the time, it was a man involved. It was distracting.
But you feel like men always distracted you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's where I get my stories from now. I think God was having me live life to have things to be able to write about.
Yeah.
And eventually, I don't know how deep you want me to go, but I ended up coming out here not because I wanted to be a writer, but because, I wanted to get clean. I had got an addiction to Oxycontin and Percocet. When 2010, I had fibroids. And it started from like hydrocodone and Vicodin, stuff like that. and it just continued to just.
So what put you on pain medicine?
The fibroids.
And fibroids, for people who don't know, do you want to explain what fibroids are? Because I feel like it's a common thing that women don't know the symptoms of.
Yeah.
And then they don't know that they have them.
Then it gets out of control.
Yeah. Because fibroids, my mom had that.
Right?
Yeah.
To get it removed.
Yeah.
Okay.
It started with a myomectomy, where they go in with an incision and take them. And basically it's just like a growth. That for mine, it was uterine. So it was inside of my uterus lining, which was even worse because it's harder to get to. But they are a nightmare. For anyone that's ever went through it. And even if you haven't, very painful periods, very heavy bleeding. Just every time it was the first of the month, it was like, oof, I cannot.
Yeah.
So your doctor prescribed you pain pills because
after surgery.
Of course.
Yeah, because you're in pain. Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah. And in my family, unfortunately, a lot of women, that's a genetic trait. And so you've been taking ibuprofen since you were about, middle school?
What's a genetic trait? I'm sorry.
Like
fibroids.
Got you.
Like, I don't, so many women in my family, especially on my dad's side, have had hysterectomies. Like a lot of women. And so, you've been taking ibuprofen for so long, now you've developed this immunity to it.
It don't even work no more.
It don't even work.
Yeah.
It's like, child, this ain't doing nothing to this.
Yeah.
So the medicine had to get stronger, but as a result of that, there lies the addiction, and I went through that silently for like 10 years.
Did the addiction start because of how you felt and you were trying to get away from your reality?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It then created, there's one thing I know for sure. When you, sometimes the need to escape can come in many vices. And for me, it created a very euphoric, I was able to become happy and I couldn't do it on my own. I remember one day I was in Forever 21 or H&M, I can't remember. And there were two girls who were shopping and they were laughing. And I remember crying. So I said, God, I don't even know how to make myself laugh like that anymore. Like, in order for me to do it, I got to take this pill.
Wow.
And I'm teaching.
Wow.
I'm doing all of this, being a mother.
Wow.
All of this. And I was so depressed. Mostly, I think my depression really started because of the hysterectomy, because I was so young.
Oh, so you ended up having a hysterectomy?
I did.
Jesus.
Yeah, and the
At what
doctor,
age?
I think I was 30. What was it? 2000. I think I was 36.
And for people that don't, like me, I don't know exactly, what is
A
that?
hysterectomy is they take your uterus.
You can
Yeah,
no
so
longer.
you can no longer
got
have
you.
children.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even 36.
That's young.
Doctors, like for me, I have issues with the lining of my uterus. I've had 2 surgeries now because I have cysts and polyps that grow in the lining of my uterus. And I had one doctor that was like, you just need to get a hysterectomy. It's just not gonna, like, this is
You
not,
don't have to keep doing
you don't
this.
have you're not gonna have a quality of life. You're gonna have this surgery every year. You just need to get a hysterectomy.
Yeah.
And even at 36, you said you were 36 when you, that's still early for doctors to take.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because women can still have babies.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
you're
yes.
young.
10
decades after. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Decades after that. So that is a very traumatic.
Yeah.
And when you take your uterus, what people also don't realize, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't had a hysterectomy, but when they take that, that's like ripping your hormones out of your body, and it does throw you
Off.
into menopause, right?
Well, if they take the ovaries, you definitely go into menopause.
Okay.
But I kept my left ovaries.
Okay. That helps.
Yeah.
Stay balanced.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But you're absolutely right, because I had already did the myomectomy surgery. They came back and they masticized. They were like, "Oh, girl, you thought that was we about to come out with like our cousins and all the rest of us coming."
Crazy. Yeah.
And it was so painful. Even sitting was painful. Like I would sneeze and I gotta go change my pad. Like cough, laugh, like anything. It was you couldn't manage your life that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I had got to the point where I was on all kinds of medication to even stop it from coming, because it was just so, you know, it was hard to manage. And then I wasn't in a great relationship. It was just a whole lot. It was the perfect storm for a hurricane for my life. Like, girl, you need these pills, baby, because you can't get those feelings on your own. You know what I'm saying?
So was it when you were going through when you were on pain medicine, do you feel like the addiction started because you started taking them even when you weren't in pain?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to be 100% honest with y'all. I experienced that. Mm-hmm. I don't have an addictive personality, I don't think, and that's why I was maybe able to stop it. But I definitely recognize that because I have chronic back pain. And they prescribed me Percocets because the Vicodins weren't strong enough, so they upped it up to Percocets.
Yeah.
And so then I was taking Percocets because my back was hurting so much. And then I remember taking it and I wasn't in pain. Yeah. I just liked the way it made me feel.
Yeah, like the relaxed feeling or what, Yeah,
and so then doing that, like you said, you get to escape this reality. Yeah. And now you're in this space of like forced euphoric, but it's not real.
It's not real.
And then when it fades, there's this like tragic crash. Yeah. And the only way you know how to get back up is to take that pill.
Lord.
And I could easily see myself being like, because I remember being sad about something.
Girl, listen.
Ooh.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying?
It ain't funny, but I know exactly what you're saying.
And it's so easy to fall into.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And just like we were talking about earlier, when we were like, everybody's addicted to something. Yeah. And what made us bring that up, because we were talking about like, it's so easy to people like, she's a crackhead, or you're addicted to alcohol, or on them Percocets, on that lean, on that, you know, you calling all that out. But I'm gonna tell them the story about when we were at Jeju, and I was in a relationship at the time, and this was like a year ago or whatever. We were at a spa. Me and Megan were at a spa, and I was in a relationship at the time. And something that bothered me, my ex was that he always drank. He was, in my mind, you know, the guy I was dating then, he was kind of a functioning like alcoholic. His body craved liquor. Had to have wine by the bed, had to always drink. He loved to drink. Morning, noon, night. Wow. That bothered me, right? And I'm like, you know, I'm talking to her about it. We're at this spa, and we order rice and pasta, and we're just eating and talking and vibing and kicking it. And I'm like, that bothers me. Like, he need to stop, like, basically, like, gossiping about my boyfriend at the time, saying he's alcoholic, right? And venting to my best friend about it. And after the conversation, during the conversation, we're eating, and I drop my fork and I lean back and I go, "Ooh, I'm so full. I always be overeating." And in that moment, I was literally like, you so worried about somebody else's vice.
Girl.
And you're addicted to food.
And you're addicted to food, baby.
Listen.
You can't stop eating until you feel like you're about to throw up. You literally venting to her about what bothers me in the guy I'm dating. And I'm like, you're addicted to carbs, baby. You got, I looked down at, we had rice,
so much food.
Soup, egg rolls,
I mean,
pasta.
Lord. It was quite embarrassing.
I was like, you're a fucking addict. Yeah. Like, why you sitting here worried about him drinking? I didn't say nothing else to that man about his wine. I started pouring it for him. Go for it.
I get it.
That is the least of my worries. Yeah. You started worried about him being an alcoholic. What's the difference? Okay, alcoholism. Okay, diabetes. Obesity. Like, it's both, like, everybody is addicted to something. Yeah. And when you see somebody going through that, don't be so quick to judge. What are you addicted to?
Now, before we continue with this episode, we're just going to bring a few more ads to you.
Just pay a few more bills. Now, look, no one knows what you're looking for in a doctor better than you, right? And there's no one better at giving you the tools to find the perfect doctor than Zocdoc. The people who created Zocdoc found the major pain points in healthcare and all the things that weren't working and said, okay, enough is enough. And they made booking a great doctor surprisingly pain-free.
Yeah, Zocdoc is a free app that shows you doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them.
So read up on local doctors, get verified patient reviews, and see what other real humans had to say about their visits. So when you walk into that doctor's office, you're set up to see someone in your network who actually gets you.
Yeah, go to Zocdoc.com, choose a time slot, And whether you want to see a doctor in person or a video visit, because we got options.
Right.
And just like that, you're booked.
Your books, baby. Go to Zocdoc.com/KFS and download the Zocdoc app for free. Then start your search for a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours, y'all.
That's Zocdoc.com/KFS.
Zocdoc.com/KFS. Back to the show.
I read this I came across this TED Talk, and this guy was basically saying anything that keeps you from dealing with your reality is an addiction.
Is an addiction.
Absolutely.
Anything that you do that keeps you from actually dealing with your reality is an addiction, and it could be anything.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be as, maybe extreme as pills or drugs or anything like that, but it could be
social media.
Social media.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will say that what it opened my eyes to also was I was at a very low state in my life. I've done therapy since I can remember, since high school. But I feel like my relationship with God was a tad dysfunctional on my end, of course.
Right.
And I realized that my life had gotten kind of out of sorts, and I wasn't clear about who I was anymore. And I was super depressed. I was never a person who drank a lot, or I remember in college, I didn't drink or anything until I turned 21.
Yeah.
And my friends used to be like, girl, how you over here? We smoking weed and all that. Why you ain't?
Yeah.
They were like, oh yeah, she got a natural. I say that all the time. And to be in that situation, it's crazy to say, I'm glad I went through it. Because what it did, I have such a compassion for people. I understand when your life gets to a place where you don't even know who you are anymore. Like you're doing all these things for other people, and you've lost yourself in such a way that even you would subject yourself to taking a pill to give you, 'cause that's what addiction does. It gives you the ability to access emotions that you're in such a low state.
You can't
access them.
Wow, without that.
Wow. So even if it's temporary, if I drink or if I smoke or something, it's giving me the power or the ability to be able to access that euphoria or whatever that, or escape that I
you
need.
can't access in your frame of mind.
Right, but then it's doing more damage.
Of course.
Which is creating another problem.
Of course.
On top of the issue that you already have.
How long did you go through?
It was,
because you said a lot of people didn't know. People never knew or anything.
Yeah, they didn't really know. But what mostly, I think, it's funny though, because I remember one of my friends, and that's the reason why I really wanted to share it, because I had a friend who shared her, she was very vulnerable and shared it on Facebook that she had this problem with pain pills. And I was like, oh my God.
Did you know?
No.
Oh, you didn't know? Okay.
You found out on Facebook.
I found out on Facebook like everybody else. And all the comments is like, oh my God. And then the TV show, Nurse Jackie. That show.
What show is that?
I haven't seen that.
On Showtime. It's not on there anymore.
Is it scripted?
It's scripted.
Okay.
Edie Falco from The Sopranos, the wife on Sopranos.
Okay.
She plays a nurse who's addicted to opiates, basically. But she's an amazing nurse. And I saw how it, that's the power of storytelling. I saw how it affected her and her family. And it used to get on my nerves. Like, how could she do this? And I'm saying, girl, you're doing the same thing.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And so it was then that I just said, God, if you get this, if you help me get over this, I'll do whatever you ask me to do. Please. I remember being in the bathtub. I was praying, and I was like, God, I can't do it. Because it makes you very sick. It's almost, it's a similar derivative of heroin that people don't know that about, opiates. It's the same opium, but just in a different dosage, of course. And I'm going to tell you, it's one of the hardest things to kick.
How long was your addiction?
It was it was almost about 10 years.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to recover?
When I tell you, I literally left. So I went through this whole thing where God said, okay, you want me to get you out of this? He took everything from me. And when I say everything, he took everything. I had a job teaching. I got too sick to work because I was calling out because I'd had the hysterectomy and then I was having complications. So the principal was like, listen, the kids got to pass the test and you ain't here because you could. Yeah. So I'm going to I've never quit a job before. Yeah. Like always left with good, ties and everything. And so I had to leave. Then my daughter and I are going to see one of my students, because I love my students still to this day, play volleyball. I'm in there watching her play volleyball in pain, by the way. And a woman comes running in. She says, oh, my God, who has a gold Honda Accord? And I'm like, me. She's like, well, I hit your car when I was rushing to go to an interview. I get outside, ends up my car is total loss.
Jesus.
I'm like, what?
He was removing things one by one.
Listen, he's like, okay, you want me to whatever? Okay. It just so happened that summer we always have like a family vacation, all of my family, my extended family. And so my brother had even said to me, my brother used to be a preacher. And my brother says to me, God must be doing something with you because he is taking you through it. And it was something else that happened. I forgot. But I remember I was at the beach because I always go to the water to talk to God. And I said, God, what are you doing? And he said to me, Exodus. So I'm like, Exodus?
I know.
I'm like, Exodus.
Ashley said, ooh.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, the word Exodus, okay, is that the book of the Bible or is it the word?
Lord.
And he's like, well, Exodus means to exit, to leave.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So I go to my uncle who used to just travel the country hitchhiking, like just didn't care, would just leave and go. And so something said, go talk to him. So I go talk to him. And I said, can I ask you a question? I said, when you left, why did you leave? He said, because God told me to. And I was like, oh, okay. So it just so happens, one of my friends, so granted, at this time, I've left my job teaching. I left because I was living in Virginia Beach at the time, go back home because I don't have a job now, don't have a car. And I'm dealing with this addiction in a way where I'm hating it. Like, God, please take it from me. Yeah. But I don't know how to stop doing it because, physiologically, I am addicted to it.
Right. My body
like, it's like
craving.
food. It's like air. Yeah. Okay? I'm literally taking it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 2 to 6 a day. Okay?
Jesus.
So I'm
that's
like,
strong.
Very much so.
Your body is just, you feel like you can't.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, your body becomes addicted. Literally, like it has to have it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting to like, if you don't.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And so, literally one of my friends said she wanted to go to Aruba. And I said, okay, I'll go with you. I'm thinking Exodus, like go on a vacation.
You're like exit for a week
and
come
then,
back. Yeah.
And so something had happened. It was like for a wedding or something. And her brother she was like, it didn't work out, whatever. So I'm like, okay. Another friend of mine, her name is Heaven. She reaches out to me. She's in Long Beach. Now, I'm an East Coast girl through and through. I have never wanted to go to L.A. Like, please.
L.A.
Please. Biggie all day. Y'all kill Biggie. I still got to grow.
West Coast, East Coast
okay,
beef. I
still got beef. Like, So, she's like, you should come to Long Beach. Just out of the blue. I'm like, this is somebody I just worked with for like, at a spa for like a couple of years. We were really cool.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to come. And I came. And now, y'all, I'm coming to visit. And so we're sitting in the diner. I get this Instagram message from Melody Asani. She's like, hey.
Can you tell me who that is?
So Melody Asani has a shop on Fairfax. Like street, urban, not urban. I should not say urban because that's kind of disrespectful. But that like Fairfax shop. Fairfax, everybody knows that's
clothing?
Like Supreme,
Okay.
all of that.
Okay.
She did
She's
those,
dope.
Yeah,
She's
her
dope.
sneakers, Reebok. She gets
dope. Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I tell you, she says, hey, because I'm going to tell y'all what God told me to do for 30 days. He said, draw and post it. Just draw. Because I'm an illustrator. He said, just draw. So I'm like, okay. So I draw and I post it. That sounds like so weird.
Yeah.
But when I say the Lord works in mysterious ways, he does.
Yeah. Yep.
And so I'm doing it.
Megan says that all the time, though.
Blindly.
She's like, if God tells me to rake up these leaves, just do it.
Do it.
She's like, I will just be raking the leaves.
Do it.
Until he tells me the next thing to do.
Yeah. And she finds me through the hashtag, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah.
And says, hey, do you live in LA? And I'm like, no, I'm visiting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, cause I got this thing, I'm trying to do graphic tees, and I love your drawings. Could you come to the shop tomorrow? I'm like, what? So I go, y'all. She's like, hey, do you want to intern and work on my graphic tee line? What?
Wow. And she don't follow you. Y'all don't know each other.
Y'all,
she just found you.
Listen.
On Instagram.
So let me tell you, because
what was the hashtag?
Right.
I'm like, yeah.
It was like 30 days of art, but I'm putting like hashtag illustrated, hashtag
artist,
this,
hashtag Long
that's
Beach.
It.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I've never said I want to be a screenwriter. I've never said these things, but these things exist within me.
Yeah.
And one thing that I asked God, I said, God, I want to love me the way you love me. I want to see me the way you see me, because I don't see that
at all. That's crazy.
I don't. Like, it's, Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's crazy.
So he brings me out here and gives me this gift he gave me. Comes back to give me new life. But let me tell you this. I meet with her manager at the time, and he's like, hey, so we would need you to be here for a few months and work on it. I'm like, I'm from Emporia. Like, I'm not, okay. I'm like, okay, okay. I go back home, and my family, including they're like, what?
What are you doing? What are you
talking
about?
Where?
Yeah.
What is wrong? Girl, should have lost her mind. And I'm like, no, God is telling me I need to go. And I come out to LA, and for let me tell y'all something. I would never tell nobody to do what I did. I came to LA with $500. And an Airbnb to stay with this lady until I came on a Wednesday. The Airbnb was done on Saturday. And all I had was my faith and $500. As soon as I touched down, I went to church that night. Because I was like, God brought me out here, that you're going to have to bring me through this.
Right.
I get a place to stay on Friday. Stay with this girl, and I continue to do graphic design. But let me tell y'all how God works. He brought me out here as an introduction. Because I stayed from August to October. I walked everywhere. I took Metro. I saw people with less than me. You talking about the gratitude. I saw not real addiction, but just seeing how it can take the mind, because Los Angeles homelessness is a little different, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. And even to this day, seeing it, it's very, it makes, I sometimes will cry.
Like to another level.
Yeah, because you can tell that a lot of it is mental illness as a result of maybe drug use. And just seeing the mind is just completely broken. In a way. And just seeing people dig through garbage, I almost got into it with a prostitute on the Blue Line. Just going through all of that allowed me to see God in all his glory, that these people are living amongst you in this foreign land. That's how God uses you, when he takes you to a place where you don't have none of your... You ain't got no family.
Nothing, nobody.
You ain't got no man. You ain't got nothing to... It's just you and him figuring it out.
You're exploring, basically. Yep.
And so... the internship ended. I have to go back home. But also, my dad got sick, so I had to go home and take care of my dad. Then my mom had back surgery, so I came back and took care of her. The addiction comes back. I'm like, damn. So I find it's crazy. Periscope. Social media does have some good. I'm here to tell you.
Yeah, it does.
Because then we got Instagram hooking me up with an intern.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Periscope comes and completely... when I say God changed my life, through a lady who was doing retreats. I followed her, listened to her talk about God in a way that I hadn't heard before. Because I grew up in the church, been going to church since I was in the womb. Okay,
Yeah, right.
Grew up Sunday school, do all of that, right? Vacation Bible School, everything. My brother became a pastor. Then he left preaching. But he helped me to know the Lord, you know, because he was around my age. So it felt different when my brother told me about God. I'm like, okay, I get it.
It's relatable.
Yeah. But this woman was talking about God in a way that really expanded my thinking and my mind. And so I said, God, what do you want me to do? He said, I want you to serve her. I was like, but she don't even know me. I said, but God, I got to knock this. He says, okay, that's what I want you to do. I want you to reach out to her, and I want you to serve her like you're getting paid $1 million. Just do what I tell you to do.
That is so crazy. I don't know why that made my nose tingle.
He says, you know, you taught for all them years. You know how to develop curriculums. You know how to teach people stuff. So I'm like, okay. I tell her that. She said, you know, I've been really needing somebody to help me with that. And I've been wanting to go to her retreats, but they cost so much. So I was like, man. So I started helping her. And she says to me one day, she says, you know what? I think you need to come out here. Could you come out here? And I said, well, you know, eventually I will. I said, but right now I don't have the money for that. She was like, well, I didn't ask you to pay for nothing. So she literally, we did a Now Faith Challenge. And we started it in August. And if you know Hebrews 11:1, now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. She says by November 1st, God is going to bless you. That's 11:1. So I'm like, okay. I'm going to write this down.
Like, what he tell you?
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. I'm writing it down. And 11:1 comes and nothing happens. I'm like, oh, okay. But we just keep trusting. And then we're corporate fasting. That's even more powerful.
Yeah.
So she hits me up and she says, I want you to come out here. I'm going to get your plane ticket. I said, okay. And she's like, yeah, I want you to come out here and I want you to, you know, help and continue to do what you've been doing. Your plane ticket is for January 11th, which is still 11/1. So I left 11/1. I mean, January 11th.
Yeah.
And I came out to LA and I served. I served. I listened.
Yeah.
And I served.
Yeah.
Women who came from all walks of life came and talked about things they couldn't even talk to their husbands, their mothers, anybody with. And so then that time came up. So let me tell y'all this. I had $20. I found out one of my friends said, hey, Issa got this thing, a sip with Issa Rae. And I was like, oh, it's in Inglewood. Oh, child, I'm all the way out here in Sherman Oaks. That's too daggone far. Like, I ain't got no money for that. Them Ubers, you know, prices crazy. God said, shut up, because you'll take that money and you'll go and you'll buy this and you'll buy that. You go and buy the ticket. Bought the ticket. My other friend that I made lots of friends through this whole retreat with women. And she says, oh, girl, I'll come get you because I want you to come over and we can do this. I was like, okay, girl. She's like, yeah, then I can just take you over there and drop you off. I said, okay, girl, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, perfect. I go. Now, mind you, y'all, I'm not in the industry at all. I'm just here to serve. God said, serve, I'm here. I'm in there with people talking about child. They talking about this at the WGA, this is going on. I'm going, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just a fan of Issa Rae. I'm just a fan. And at the time, Lena Waithe was being interviewed. I said, I love Lena, you know, love what she's doing. Because I had watched a web series that she did. And so we're there. God says, you're going to speak. I said, no, I can't speak because I don't even work in this industry. I don't know what I'm going to say to these folks.
Yeah.
He says, no, you're going to speak. So there came time for Q&A. I got my hand like this. Literally like
I'm being obedient, but I'm kind of.
If they don't see me, they don't see me.
Hey, I did what you told me. You know,
I had my hand up. They didn't see me.
Right. There's a woman sitting next to me, which I wish to God I knew her name to this day because I would reach out and find her. Denise Davis, who works with Issa, is walking around with a microphone, and she picking that one, and she picking that one, and she picking that one, and I'm like, yes, she ain't come over here. The girl next to me, she had her hand up right here. She's sitting right next to me.
You always need that one
She
person.
had her hand up because they were like, this
but
is the
you
last
didn't know her?
question. Did not know her from a soul. Literally, the woman's going around everybody. Last question. She goes to another girl. I'm like, oh, yep, that's it for me. She's like, you had your hand on.
You done had your hand
on. She literally that loud.
I love that.
She comes over. I says, I don't really have a question. I have a comment because I don't know what I'm gonna say.
You're like, I don't know what I have to say.
I don't know. I'm just going to comment. So she gives me the microphone, and God just spoke out of me. I poured into both of them. I don't know what I said. Something like, keep your head, I don't know, keep your head up, keep praying, keep pushing, I don't know. But the crazy part is, Lena remembers me on Instagram. She says, what you doing? I said nothing. She was like, you know how to do script coverage? Yep, I ain't know what the hell it was.
Googling
She
definition
says,
of script
can
coverage.
you do script coverage for me? Sure. Started working for Lena. That's how I'm in the seat.
And the rest, not that's how I'm in this seat.
Wow.
Jesus.
Paid my dues.
That's
Served.
it. Served.
Served every way through.
That's why I did this to Megan.
Really, really quick, KFS fam, before we go on, it's your girl B.Simone, and I gotta let you know I'm going on tour, baby girl, baby boy. Come see me on tour. Stand-up comedy, me, Just Hilarious, D-Ray Davis. So many more comedians are gonna be on this show. You guys, we're headed Nashville, Newark, Columbus, Detroit, Cleveland, Greensboro, Chicago, Kansas City, Tampa, Orlando, St. Louis, ATL, New Orleans, Charlotte, Columbia, Philly, Miami, Houston, Dallas, Norfolk, Baltimore, DC, y'all. The list goes on and on. Get your tickets now at BMNshows.com. That's B as in boy, M as in Emma and M, N as in Nancy, shows.com. BMNshows.com. Get your ticket. Come see me on tour. I love you guys. Back to the show.
She said, do that. Okay, I'm going to do that.
But literally, that's how Megan lives her life.
Yeah.
Literally. I learned servant spirit. I never heard or comprehended that until I met Megan.
God said,
that's how she lives her life, no matter what it is.
Yeah. He said, you don't have to be perfect. I'll perfect you through it.
Yeah.
Because then you don't need me. Yeah. If you got it all together already, then you don't need me. But if you don't, you keep coming back to me. This is the source. He got me in this position. I will forever serve him because of that. It changed. I came to that woman, got clean cold turkey. Didn't do no clinic.
Never again.
Never again. Get out my face. I was in a place where I ain't know nobody. What you thinking about other than surviving? Like, please.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Like, how am I going to whatever? Forget a daggone Percocet. Like, I need to figure out.
So you just stopped.
When
you started working for her. Yeah.
That is.
Came out here and served.
That servant spirit, I learned that from her. Like,
I fully believe that. Like, if you don't know what to do
next,
you don't know what the plans are. You don't know what the blueprint look like. Go somewhere and serve. And like you said, he will perfect his gifts when you serve.
Yeah.
And when you go into it with a servant's heart, which means that you are fully serving, you not, if it was me in that position, I would have done
this much longer.
Oh, they talking to me crazy. I ain't about to do, I'm going to just be late because they late.
Listen.
You got to have a servant's heart because what you are serving is not who you're serving. I serve him.
Yeah.
And if the instruction is to serve that because I serve him, then I'm serving this with a pure heart. And in doing that, I open myself up, to be perfected, pruned, developed.
Amen.
Right? And he puts you in position to be and manifest yourself in the way that he called you to be in this world. But you have to have because you're always going to need to serve somewhere.
In some way, shape, or form.
And your gift is a service.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a gift. It's a gift. And you can't, a gift is meant to be given.
It is. You can't hoard that.
You can't hold that.
Yeah.
It's selfish.
That is a major, that is a major thing for me.
And just like you always say, when you don't know what do you say? When you don't know what to do next, go back to the last
the last thing
God told you to do.
Yeah.
And for me, it's always serve.
Yeah. Always. Yeah. Even if I struggle with depression, I need to go serve something else. Because I remember someone saying depression is thinking about yourself way too much.
Wow.
Like you're thinking about yourself way too damn much. Wow. Like go out here.
Yourself, your problems, you're this, you're that.
I'm sad, I'm this, I'm that, this happened to me.
Go somewhere
and serve.
And serve somebody.
Because I bet you be distracted from that.
Every time it takes me right out of it. Oh, let me, I'm good.
Yeah.
That is, man.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No.
What would you say?
I'm just like, man, that is just, and what is also very inspiring to me, I don't know why, like proof of concept keeps playing in my mind for other reasons, but that keeps playing in my mind. She said, God told me to draw for 30 days and post it.
Yeah.
Tabitha said, God told me to get on Facebook.
Oh, wow.
And cook on Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook. Just every day.
She said, I didn't know why. She said, I didn't know why.
Right.
I didn't, for what?
For what?
I
She's
don't
like, ain't
do
nobody
social
watching.
media.
It's 10 people on this live.
He said, do it.
Yep.
Batch said,
Yep.
I don't know why,
Ooh.
but
God told me to do
just
stand
do
up.
that.
Just do. He said, I said,
Just
so why are
do
you
that.
doing stand up right now? He said, I don't know why.
That's what I feel led to do.
He said, I don't know why.
And I'm telling you,
When
proof
you stop
of concept.
asking the why. Yeah.
Proof of concept, y'all. I don't care what has happened in your life that has caused you not to believe that God is real. That's proof of concept.
Right.
It's
proven.
proven.
It's proven.
It works.
It's proven.
It works.
It's
Yeah.
proven.
And most of the time, I tell you, you know it's God because you really don't want to do it. You like, Jesus Christ.
The
you
last
want me to
thing I want to do.
what?
The last.
Yeah.
You want, but you
The
sure?
last.
Because
Yeah.
when it's ego, it's like, oh yeah,
I'm doing it.
I'm ready for this.
Yeah, I
What's
look
up?
good. I did.
But he puts you your comfort zone, please.
It's out of your comfort zone. It's out of your comfort zone.
And doing that puts you in a position to always be practicing serving because
Yes.
in your gift, you're serving.
Yes.
You're never you don't escape the service.
Ever. No matter what.
No matter
I'm
what.
on
No
set
matter what.
as a
No matter
showrunner
what.
doing stuff that people are like, the PA do that. I don't care.
Yeah.
Do you know
I'm here. Yeah.
that I need to serve? If there is opportunity that something needs to be done or fixed, I'm here to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a woman of God, just period. Like I just always want to. It keeps me grounded.
Yeah.
You can be grounded and in the air at the same time. Like it's very important for me to continue to keep that. Because when I get off that alignment, I can tell.
Yeah. It's off.
It's off.
It's off.
Life feels a little harder.
Yeah. Something's missing.
I feel everything. Sensitive. This something I'm snapping. What?
Yep.
Hold up, girl.
Yeah.
You're feeling yourself.
Yep.
Stop.
Yep.
You know.
That's major. And you're in that moment of you serving and where he told you to serve, you were also serving your future self. You know what I'm saying? So stop looking at it as if this like that's an investment
It's a
into your
seed.
future self.
You're planting that seed.
Because
Yeah.
you've sowed seeds
That
of
is
service,
so real.
you ain't never gonna have to worry about finding the right people to serve your vision.
Right.
Because you serve somebody else's.
Right.
That opens
Right.
you up
Right.
for the
Right.
for his blood for the
Right.
blessings and
Right.
the abundance and the opportunity. It opens you up to that because you've already sowed that seed
And the
of
relationships
service.
you built along that
And
way.
how God
yeah.
hides you in that.
Man.
Oh God, he protects you. Because sometimes you don't want to be exposed too soon because there's still work that he's doing on
in
you.
you.
I'm about to
You know what I'm
roll
saying?
this
Like
mic. Oh my God.
no, seriously.
I know.
Do you know what I'm talking
It's
about?
because I know you. It's because I know you. It's because I know
What they say, you don't want anything too soon.
It's because I know you.
You don't want anything too soon. And I'm so glad I didn't even have a taste for what I thought. At least I'm say, I want to be this.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a taste for
Right,
that.
right.
I just wanted to survive. I wanted to breathe.
Yeah.
I wanted to smile without having to take a pill. I wanted to be able to write to people's heart, to a person's heart, and make them feel what I felt when I was 10. Like God told me to go back to what you did when you were a kid.
Right.
That made you feel good about
And
life.
that's so pure. Yep.
'Cause the
What did
biggest-
you like then when nothing
Right.
else mattered? Bills, relationships,
Right.
love,
Yeah.
money,
Yeah.
all that, success.
The biggest mistake we
What
make,
did
I
you
think
like
it's
then?
The Alchemist, I forgot what book it's in, is that we get to an age where we think that life is over.
Yep.
As an adult.
Yep.
Like, oh
Yep.
yeah, your
Yep.
life is over
Yep.
now, so just
Yep.
get ready
Yep.
to just
Yep.
leave. And that's
Yep.
a lie.
It's a lie.
Like you can have a second act. You can have a third act.
Yeah.
Every day,
You
it's
can
an
do
opportunity
whatever
to
it
change and
is.
shift and do something
Yeah.
different.
Absolutely.
And you said on set when we were talking about your writing, you said you wanted to write what you didn't see on TV.
oh yeah.
From Black women, you know,
Yeah.
like that narrative that they try to paint of us, or
absolutely
you wanted to create what you didn't see on the screen.
Yeah.
And that's what you did with Finding Happy, correct?
Well, the co-creators, Angie and Yaz, when I went to meet with them, which was another thing, that's how I got there, was from going to karaoke. Again, another choice that I was not going to go. God says, go to karaoke tonight. I'm like, what? I don't sing in front of people, but I love karaoke, but I like it's for other people. And I met someone there. I won't say his name.
In these moments, real quick, I want to ask you, do you know it's God speaking to you in that moment, or you know it's him after?
Oh, I know it's him, because normally it's when I have resistance. Yeah. When it's all me, Kendra, I'm controlling as hell. Oh, yeah, we're going to do that. But when it's him, it's like and you resistance. I've grown to understand that. Before, I used to be like, well, maybe I should,
Got you.
But I've learned that there's a book called The War of Art, and it talks about resistance. And that's a sign that you should do it.
Okay.
We think, oh, no, we shouldn't. It's like, no, you should.
Okay.
It's like birth, like labor. That's when you time to push. You're like, oh, you're like, no, push through it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to go, but I went and I met somebody there who just happened to be somebody in the industry. We became really good friends. And just my brother, in the entertainment industry, we used to hang out and he would cook dinner. And one day he says, hey, Sad and them got an idea for a show. I'm going to tell them about you.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's how I ended up there. At the time, they had a one sheet, Yaz and Angie did, about, it was being loosely based on Yaz's life. Sorry. And, but her life, to me, is super entertaining. But it's for a different network. Yeah, it's for cable.
It's too crazy.
She said that's for cable.
They ain't going to play that. You can't even say cuss on back.
I was like, girl, we can't even.
We got to rewrite that.
I think like one thing came, I was able to do that one. I'm not going to spoil it. But but yeah, and so I took it and I said, well, let me TV this up. And the concept was so interesting to me that a woman gets to the age of reckoning, which is 36, where you start to say, hold on, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have this. So I think at the time she had another name for her best friend, but I made it her cousin, because I said, I love to see cousins.
That
like,
family. That family.
Sometimes a cousin is like your first best friend.
Yeah.
Because I didn't grow up with sisters. I grew up with a whole bunch of
extended 30 cousins.
And all of that. And so, so I took it and I built it, this world with the moms and the aunts and everything. And I just wanted it to be something that felt good. I'm into feel-good comedy. I grew up, like most people, watching The Breakfast Club movies and Sweet 16 Candles and all those John Hughes movies. I remember watching. I used to just love. And I was like, I want to write that for us.
Yeah.
Just
it was such
somebody
dope
that
writing.
looks like you.
Just a regular day. Just drop into our lives and see how like crazy our mama can be sometimes, or how like my crazy love life, just that type of stuff. And that was what I really wanted to do, was just humanize our experiences beyond just the provocative stories or
the sex
politics
kitten,
or
the ghetto girl, or the
like
loud.
Let's go a little deeper and find out why they're that way.
Right.
Really quick, KFS fam, before we move on, it's your girl B.Simone, and I will be starring in Bounce TV's new hit series, Finding Happy. I'm so excited. I will be playing your girl Yaz. She's an amazing black woman in Atlanta trying to find love, career, purpose, and she's trying to find her happy. So make sure you guys tune in to Bounce TV on September 24th. And, on this love life, Yaz needs y'all to help her find a man. So y'all got to help her choose, but you only going to be able to help her choose if you tune in. September 24th, you guys, only on Bounce TV. I'm so excited. Love you guys. Back to the show.
And I really wanted, this is big for me, I wanted to show a black woman who don't know her magic yet, because that was me.
Because Yaz doesn't. My character in the show doesn't.
She don't know her magic.
She doesn't know how great she is.
You sometimes got it in there, but you like that. I don't know how to get that out. Boy, it scares the hell out of you.
You, Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times that light is so powerful. That's what you're fighting. It ain't the haters. That's easy.
Right.
Like my biggest hater.
Worried about that.
It's you. It's me. It's like so once this pop though, they're going to be all. Yep. I've had major resistance to all of this. I told you I would only do this here, have this conversation with you.
Kendra was like, I'm gonna come.
Yeah,
I trust you. I trust your platform. I listen to the I'll come.
It's huge
here.
For me.
Wow. She's like, I'm not gonna talk about this anywhere else.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like it's just there needs to be sacredness.
About
when we talk about things, and I need to know that you understand that. Because wherever I walk is sacred and holy ground. Wherever you walk is sacred and holy ground, and you should be treated as such. And when that doesn't happen, that's not the ground for me. This ain't fertile ground. And I've been in several places in this industry and outside of this industry where that soil is not fertile. And you trying to make it work, and you throwing the seed and it's popping back in your face. Or it's taking your seed and it's dry and don't do nothing with it. Taking everything from you. You know, so it was very important to me that I told it here, because I was like, you know, I love what B is doing. And you as well. Like, just, I listen. I'm very intuitive and clairvoyant. I know when I saw you, I said, she's the person. It's her.
Thank you.
She got it in her. I can feel it. The authenticity that you have being yourself is what makes you an amazing actress.
That was at the beginning. I remember. I will never forget this. Don't make me cry. You pulled me to the side. You were like, "Be yourself." Like the first day, I was so in my head. I had all these lines. I'm number one on the call sheet. She's like, "I don't care if one take you want to say, baby girl. If we don't like it, we'll edit it out." Be you, but be Yaz. We don't want you to be B.Simone, but she's like, we hired you because of who you know.
We believe you can do it.
I was so like, and then once you gave me that like green light, it was like, all right, it's up.
Did you know when you wrote it, you wanted B to be Yaz?
No, I never think about who's going to play.
You just
the
write the
person.
story.
It's really me pouring myself. I become every character. My daughter tell you I'm probably hell to be around when I'm writing, because she's like, well, who are you today? Like, you flip it. But I literally wrote like it's me. You know, because one thing that teaching taught me was how to size up a room first, because kids gonna try you as soon as you walk in there, but also to have compassion for all walks of life. And so whenever I go to a character, I'm not coming with judgment. I'm coming with understanding and going through that predicament of going through, you know, addiction and failure. You find out the people you used to make fun of, girl, you just like them. You know, you like, oh, you was over there laughing at that one and this one.
You so worried about everybody else's vice and sin.
Look at you.
Ooh,
look at you now, girl.
So
that was that. But the thing is that your truth, and that goes for anyone, is that the more you are truthful with yourself, the easier it is for you to show up in this world as in any capacity. The moment you can't, some ain't authentic there. And I knew you had a truth. I said, that's what we need.
Thank you.
Is that honesty. Because when you get the words, you're going to understand it.
And there was tons of moments I had on that set. Like, I felt like I was Yaz. I've been through, you know, her similar situations. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, I've been there. I've been through that, or I felt that. And that's why, like, we could talk about finding happy, but I wanted you to give your backstory. At first, she was just going to come on the show. We were going to have our podcast. She said, I'll come on and talk about finding happy. I'm like, do you want to share your story, though? Because, yes, you're a Hollywood writer. We about to have the #1 show on Bounce.
I know that's right.
We going to have a season 2. Like, we're manifesting all of that. We're going to, you're doing all of that. But what it took for you to get there is important for me, for the, you know, for people to hear that. Like, yes, you're this now, but it was a lot to get to that point.
It absolutely was, because I wasn't living my truth, but thank God that he allowed me to see me the way he sees me. Because that was the untruth that I had.
Do you see yourself like that now? Fully?
But I do still am like...
Okay.
Because there are things that, you know, as you use vices, as you speak to yourself very unkindly, you start to believe it.
You start to,
So there's an unwiring, there's an unlearning. When I came out here, God said, okay, first you got to unlearn a lot of stuff. That you really believe.
Backtrack.
And I need to get that out of you. And so that's the truth. Because what I want people to understand is I wasn't all together and God gave me another chance. He can do the same thing for you. You don't have to know it all. You don't have to get it all right. And he's like, no, just come to me and lay your burdens.
You made that choice.
I made that choice. I said, if you please, I will do whatever. And he knows everything that he told me to do. I'm like, okay.
That's why it's so important to share. I feel like share your story, because.
And as much as you're comfortable with, I was like,
well, no, I'm just saying in general, not just Kendra.
Anybody,
because or
as much as you can, because it's so imperative to other people's healing. I feel like,
healing,
and yours,
and the hope that you can get on the other side of that. Like,
ma'am,
even though you went through an addiction and moving and coming back, and your parents being sick and fighting addiction again, and
surgery,
and doing this and
having a daughter,
right? Being a
that's
mom,
watching the whole time, like what?
All of that, and how you kept just staying the course, even though you were going through tragic things.
Yeah,
but you just remained. You know what I'm saying? And how now? You got. You're in front of Issa Rae and Lena, and you know what I'm saying? Like, people need to hear that, because there are so many people who give up. And think about you are a storyteller, and you going through all your experiences has led you to be able to write stories that people can now see and relate to. And what that is, because what it did for you, you're also creating that for somebody else, right?
Absolutely.
How shows inspired you, and it made you feel some type of way, or it created a space for you to want to create space
that
for
spark
us,
in you,
right? So now you go through all your stuff, and now you're able to do the exact same thing for somebody else. But think about the people who stop.
Yes.
And then when they stop, who is that affecting?
Listen,
you know what I'm saying? My mom says all the time, Miles Monroe is one of my mom's favorite preachers. I love a Miles Monroe, and he's like, he was in your face, like he would offend, he would hurt your feelings, basically. But he said the richest place in the world is a graveyard, because that's where all the lost potential, all the lost dreams, all the die. And sometimes it's not a grave, but it's internally giving up and letting that dream die. Because it's hard, or because it hurt me, or because this didn't work out, or because 10 people told me no, or because this deal fell through, or and we stopped. But you never stopped. You just said, all right, I'm going to find somewhere to serve. All right, I'm going to do. You know what I mean? Not only did you not stop, but you served in that. That's major. People need to hear that.
Major.
That's important to hear.
I think that's posture of surrender is super important. It's one of the hardest things, but yet the easiest thing to do is to surrender. I remember I shared with you at the promo shoot that Miles Monroe quote that I loved that saved my life was, if you don't know the purpose of a thing, abuse is inevitable. And I remember saying, like, wow, if you don't know the purpose, you could abuse any and everything.
And people.
You know?
Lord.
And that
from your gift to
from your gifts to exactly. And it's a whole lot of people pimping gifts out here too. That's another conversation. But
for real.
But like I really truly am so grateful that God, I'm telling y'all, God called me. That's not a popular thing to talk about. Because mostly everything now is, well, I made this decision or I manifested. I'm going to be real with y'all. I ain't manifest nothing. I just wanted to be clean and I wanted to be happy. I was like, God, please, whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. You gave me these gifts. You know I'll do it. But just tell me what to do, because I don't know. I got lost. And that's something that I want to just share with people, because...
But I feel like you did maybe subconsciously, like that your faith, you put your faith with works.
Oh, yeah.
That is manifestation.
Oh, absolutely.
Like literally believe, God, whatever you tell me to do, I'll do it to be clean. He was telling you those instructions and you did it. You were
but not
obedient.
in this new age of manifesting.
Like, manifest.
I just thought of it.
It just
not by
I got
that.
my dream,
No.
Yeah, I manifested it. It's like, all right, we're just throwing that word around now. But literally, like my definition, the faith with the works, just speaking it, not knowing the how, not knowing the when, just like knowing it's coming. And maybe you didn't even know that at that moment, but
oh God, no.
You just was like, look, you know.
I said yes.
You gave God your yes.
Yeah, I said that to Braylon all the time. Like when I first started working for her, she would be nervous about something, or I would be like, man, just submit your yes.
Just give God your yes.
Yep.
I
That's
learned
all
in
you
the
got to
retreat, the woman would always say, they were like, okay, can you pray? And the prayer was just yes and amen. That's it. I don't need to do all of that. Yes, amen. That's real though.
I'm doing all that.
Yo, yes.
Yep.
I don't need to do all that.
Whatever you tell us to do, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yep.
Yes. Amen.
that.
I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I come from the South, girl. You better get a little more like, I need more words. You need to get, you know what I'm saying? Because it's poetry.
Amen.
But she was like, yes and amen.
That's dope.
I was like, oh, okay.
That's dope.
She was like, it's just that simple.
It's that simple.
Before we move on, we're going to take a break.
A quick break.
A quick little breaky. We have a surprise for y'all.
You guys, you know what it is. It is the KFS fam. We're giving you guys 20% off the BSimone Beauty site. 20% off everything excluding bundles.
Excluding the bundles, so don't get overzealous, okay? Go to BSimoneBeauty.com and use the code KFS20, all caps. That's K as in no, F as in 4, S as in sure, 20. KFS20, all caps, and get 20% off your BSimone Beauty.
So the audience is going to watch Finding Happy on September 24th, which is this weekend.
He is the lead.
I am the lead.
Yes.
Just real quick before we get out of here and get to what we know for sure, what we're saying no to for sure. What can they expect on Finding Happy?
Oh, wow.
I just want to hear it from the writer's point, because you created this story. Yes, I acted it out, but what do you want them to get from Yaz's experience in life as a Black woman who is maneuvering through her career, love, and self-love? You know?
I hope that they can see a piece of themselves.
Yep.
I think everybody will.
I think they will.
I think everybody will. Because, you know, like I said, it was important for me to create a character who, she doesn't know her magic. You know, and I know Black girl magic is a very popular, you know, term that we throw around, and, you know, Black girls rock and all of that. And those things are great. But it was important for me to show somebody that you would consider like an underdog.
Yep.
Like, I've always loved to be underestimated.
Yeah.
Like, I'm that person that people would never know who I knew or what I was capable of.
Yeah.
Like, yes, please underestimate me.
Yeah.
Because
So
I
can
am
show you.
going to blow your freaking mind when I let this rip.
Blow your mind.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was truly, like, honestly, like, I just, with Yaz, you'll see, like, this is somebody who just got it and don't know it. Like, she don't know it.
I don't remember if it was Jackie, because there's multiple Black women directors.
Yes.
Like, one did the first 3, then the second 3. You know, we switched directors every 3 episodes.
Yep.
I think it was Jackie. I don't know if this is right, but she pulled me to the side to work on a scene, and I was like, I'm so mad at Yaz. Like, she's like, you can't be mad at your character. Be her.
That was Jackie.
Was it Jackie? Because I was mad that she was making these decisions. Like, why is she, you know, I started to like, don't do this. Or, this scene is pissing me off. Like, why is she? Because, you know, she was like, don't be mad at her. Be her. Because you've experienced that some way, shape, or form in your life. You pull from that. Don't be mad at her. Understand her. Because you've been there, you know? So I think the viewer will really relate to her on different levels, in different ways. I
think it's a kind of woman, and these are women of the South, which it warmed my heart to be able to write, because we've never seen a Southern comedy from Black women before.
All Black women directors.
All Black women, I just thought it was imperative to show that, because a lot of times you come from this belief that as a Black woman, your love is outside of you. You know,
explain that.
Like, it's something that you're always giving to others.
Oh, got you.
Or waiting for them to give to you. It's not quite in a place where you completely are self-actualized and you know where your love comes from. You see it with the mom that she's, well, I don't want to blow it, but the mom is still dealing with her own self-love. And Yaz, you see where she gets it from. You know? You see it with all of them. You're finding love in food. You're finding love in your career. Because let's be real, you can go out here and you can work yourself to death, and at the end of the day,
You look up.
You stress, your health is bad, you know, you got high blood pressure or everything that you wanted, you've kind of like lost focus on it, you know what I'm saying?
Submerging yourself in your work.
Exactly. It's a distraction or escape, you know what I'm saying? I really like to really write to those issues that universally we all can relate to.
Yeah.
Whether you're a man or a woman, black, white, whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah. We all can relate to that. Yeah. We all can relate to being at a job that we don't like.
Yeah.
And
at one point.
And we have been there and we're like, I don't want to go in here today. And you've made a career out of a job that you don't like. I have been there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And people telling you at work, girl, you're so good at what you like. Why you here? I used to get that all the time. Why you here? I used to be like, what you mean? Why am I here? You know what I'm saying? So just speaking to all the things that we talk about, and I hadn't seen it on television. Yeah. Like you can sit around with your girlfriends probably and talk about a million things that you ain't never seen on TV. Right. That so many people can relate to. Right. And that's what I really want to bring to the page and to the screen is just seeing and hearing things. And I do play devil's advocate. I'm going to be real with you. Women are not always right.
Right. We're not.
It's funny, too, because I feel like that aligns so much with our podcast and what, like, our thing is like creating something that we don't really see.
Yeah. Or we didn't have.
Yeah. And having and bringing those real conversations. Yeah. The stuff that we talk about. Before there were cameras and a production and a team and we were having these same conversations, you know, on our own. And we were like, man, people need
to hear this. Somebody need to hear
at least hear that people are having that conversation.
That's why I love y'all show. Because I was like, the DNA is already here. You're having those conversations that people are like, man, we were talking about it the other day.
Right.
You know? Right. I didn't know that. People talk about that too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I really was like, oh, yeah.
Dope. It opens up the conversation and also opens up an opportunity for us to be empathetic of one another because we're all experiencing similar things.
Absolutely.
And that's what I love about the show when I seen snippets and then when B was on set and, you know, hearing her talk about it is like it really opened up this space for us to see ourselves and to be empathetic to other people's experience as well. And so that's what I picked up. I haven't even seen it. I haven't seen one episode yet. But
oh, girl.
I can't wait.
It's so good.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on and sharing. Man, that was so
Thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you.
The whole time I'm like, you don't have to say anything you don't want to say.
I know. She's like, you don't have to say. I'm like, girl, God already got me.
Share your story.
I came this is a piece of cake, girl.
Thank
please.
you for opening up and sharing it. And I know somebody out there, it touched somebody. But
absolutely.
We always end the episode with what are you saying no to for sure and what do you know for sure? Like N-O, like a hard no for sure. To? And then what do I know for sure?
Oh, playing small. I'm saying no to that. Yeah. A lot of times you can be in the valley so long that you think that hanging out with the turtles is where it's at. But if you a giraffe, you're like, baby girl, no.
Y'all don't even know what's up here.
Your neck ain't supposed to be on the ground.
Right.
So,
sit straight.
Stand up. Let the people see. You know? I got palm trees there for a reason. What you doing?
I love that.
But yeah, just playing small. And
what do you know for
what
sure?
I know for sure is God is real.
Okay.
I hate to say, I know it's cliche. But he is.
Real facts.
He is still out here working and doing his thing, and I'm grateful to be in this position. And I'm grateful for you guys. Thank you for creating this platform.
Oh my gosh, what?
So many lives are being changed. From the very beginning, before I even when I was on set, I was like, girl, y'all over there doing God's work.
We launched during filming.
Yeah, I was like, y'all doing God's work. What did y'all do? Like, child, this is amazing.
We were filming Finding Happy when we released like the first couple episodes of the podcast.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you know for sure?
What do I know for sure? What do I know for sure? Well, with hearing your story, I know every day is an opportunity to change your life. Every single day you wake up is an opportunity. God is giving you a chance to, like you said, start over, reinvent the wheel, start from zero, whatever that is, whatever that looks like for you. Every day is an opportunity to change your circumstance. Every day. And you make that choice. And I know it's not easy sometimes, whether it's addiction, whether it's a relationship, whether it's yourself, whatever that is, you have an opportunity to not stay there. And you have a choice and an opportunity to get out of it. I know that for sure. What am I saying no to for sure? No to for sure. I was gonna say something stupid.
What? What you gonna say?
Nothing. Childish. Thing. I'm saying no to not giving God my yes. Just continuously giving him the yes. Yes, amen.
I love that.
Smile lines. I need to
what do I know for sure? Man, I have so many thoughts and feelings after listening to you share your story. But what I know for sure is that serving can be the method to unlocking your purpose or finding that purpose. It can definitely be a tool to do that. Proof of concept.
Yeah.
It works, and it always works. And what am I saying no to for sure? I'm saying no to, I'm going to say no to resisting.
Resistance, yeah.
What I fully feel like God has put me in here to do because I'm scared.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Saying no to fear.
Yeah.
That fear.
And that, or just the resistance, like practicing not, you know how she said she know it was God because there was a resistance, not having a resistance to it.
Just,
not
okay, it's God, go.
Saying, just responding.
Yeah.
And putting
Instead
myself
of the
in a
tug and war.
Yeah, just to respond with a yes.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Real.
Without, you know how we do with our kids.
Yeah.
When I
was gonna say,
I need you to swiftly move.
Do it.
As caretakers, that's what you're equipped to do.
Yeah.
Is to know this is what I need to do to get this done. The kids do this. Okay, I make sure I do that. Da-da-da-da. But now God is looking at you like you his child.
What I tell you to do.
Do what I tell you to do.
And I need you to swiftly move.
Yeah. Move.
When I say get up, I
Let's
mean
go.
get up.
We gotta go.
Like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So when I feel that, I want to not have a resistance, but I want to have a response. So that's what I'm saying no to, for sure.
Can I say this, though? There are things that has to come through you that can't come through nobody else.
Yeah.
And I remember a pastor saying, have you ever seen something on TV or whatever, and you're like, dang, I had that same idea. And it's because God is no respecter of persons. What he wants done on this earth will be done.
Period.
So either you're going to be the vessel that
Or
it
I'll
comes
use somebody
through,
else.
or he going to give it to somebody else. And how upset would I be with myself
Yeah.
when you got all that deliciousness in you
Yeah.
that's going to make it beautiful?
Yeah. That
And
gift.
somebody
Yeah.
else
Yeah.
gotta do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I love that.
And when he said that, it touched me. I said, oh, yeah, let me keep saying yes.
Go ahead and
keep
use my
saying
gift
yes.
before it gets taken away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you don't use, you lose.
Yeah.
What you don't use, you lose.
Thank you,
Jesus.
Kendra.
It's like PTO. When you work corporate.
I was like, PT.
At
You
the end
right,
of the
though.
year, if you didn't use it
doesn't
you
roll
lose it.
over.
It doesn't
It
roll
don't.
over. Oh, my God. It don't roll over.
And on that note, we love you. Thank you,
y'all.
Kendra.
Thank you
Thank you,
so much.
KFS
You're
family, for watching.
Amen.
This was a great episode,
Great
y'all.
episode. Make sure you guys
yeah.
watch Finding Happy September 24th.
Fourth, it
Saturday.
airs Saturday
On the Bounce Network.
On the Bounce Network. And where they
We're-
can get the Brown Sugar app.
Brown
Is it
Sugar
still-
app.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can even DirecTV.
It has
That
bounce.
yeah, I just got DirecTV app, and that has Bounce on it as well. So yeah,
Spectrum.
yeah.
September 24th, Finding Happy, Bounce TV. Let's fucking go. Thank y'all
We
for
love
watching.
you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Know For Sure podcast. Make sure you keep the conversation going and use our hashtag KnowForSurePod.
Yes, we want to see you guys share the hashtag KnowForSurePod on all social media platforms. We want to keep the conversation going.
Keep it going. Go to the website, KnowForSurePod.com, and follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram and Twitter, KnowForSurePod.